if anybody's out there on a Friday. See if anybody's out still hustling, still working. Jumped on almost to the shop here. Making the truck. The truck still got stuff. I still got stuff. I found out the gate operator for the barrier arm, right? The lift master, the barrier arm. The cabinet is made out of some kind of composite. Can you believe it? It's made out of some kind of composite that is not magnetized. So I thought I had it licked because, well, I thought I could magnetize the warning signs. They want you to kind of put it on a separate pole, but this landscaping was beautiful, and there's not going to be no pole mounting. So I was mounting to the cabinet, right? And stickers. These will last a little while, get you a couple years out of it, you know. And this is why it's kind of one of those things that realistically, with gate operators, excuse me, they should be PM'd every 6 months to a year minimum. You know, I'd say probably every 6 months, honestly. You should be checking out, checking batteries, probably just replace batteries type of thing, you know what I mean? Where they just pay you, you know, whatever, 75, 120, 500, 1.2 mil. Looks like there's like gold spread in the road. It's really weird. I don't understand it. But since I'm over here on this side, I might as well check the meter. And I had a little bit of fun today. I'm going to post a video, I think, eventually on here. Maybe we'll do a little short or something. I'm not sure. But I got to see my competition, right? And what was kind of funny about it was that it was actually a guy that used to install for me. And the top panel flung out of the track. It's like a new install. It's a Richard Wilcox. I haven't didn't even know they existed. You know what I mean? Well, I mean I did, but I have never seen one really in person. This was a brand new one. So actually, with the one good vendor, they must be starting to carry them. And so I thought that was kind of interesting that he didn't put bolts in the back. It's like he flushed them out, and I gotta put you up here. And he must have so the door went right through the back tracks. You know what I mean? Like the whole top panel flung out. I was like, oh my gosh. And the crappy part is he's probably all of an hour and 30 minutes away to come fix it. And don't forget, if you guys are cruising through, if you would, hit the like button. Just helps wake up the algo, brings more people in for the live. If you wouldn't mind, I would definitely appreciate it for the weekend, right? Hoorah. Hopefully everybody has a good weekend, safe weekend. Hopefully you put your bikes away. Don't be doing nothing crazy in the vroom vrooms, if you know what I mean. Ah, this cluster fudge, huh? All right, we got some lights now. There you go. How you like? Welcome. What you guys got going for the weekend? I see, is it Rigo? I think it is. Says hello. How are you? Hope you're doing good. I'm just dropping a few things off here at the old Shopperooski. I'm gonna set you down somewhere if I can. Hope you guys are gonna have a good weekend. Nice relaxing, maybe, hopefully. Where can I put this? Set those over there. I think those are ours. Oh, it's Friday. Yay, we made it. We made it to Friday. Hip, hip, hooray. There we go. That's it for that. That's all I really got, I think, at the moment. That's got to be dropped back off. Oh, I got this, what you call it? Not quite sure where I should put this. This is like bottom edge stuff. What to do? Holy cow. I didn't realize he said they broke the handle. Wow. Oh, almost dropped you. Whoops. There we go. They broke the handle, man. I didn't realize it was. Wee! Boy, that puppy's mangled. Yeah. It made it many years. It did pretty good for a pretty cheap, inexpensive jackhammer. Yeah. That's it, man. There you go. That was like roughly like an $800 some bill to replace. And I wanted to spend another $80 because they got a dolly for it. I thought the dolly's nice because if you ever had to move a jackhammer around, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. Oh. Yeah, it's a PO. What's a good brand? Is it Angry Man? What's a good brand? Problem is you buy, like, we needed it like now. I see there's about 25, so if you guys wouldn't mind, hit the like button. Just hit the like button. Just, like I said, cruising through, whatever, just helps wake up the algo. I'd appreciate it. I see Burke. What's up, man? I got your thing. I just haven't, like, scanned into the email. You know what I'm saying? Been busy. Email's been kind of, oh my gosh. It's like the list is getting longer on the board. It's that time of year. Let me check this flow rate. Make sure it's puppy. Hey, I see we got 4 likes. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. I really appreciate it. DeWalt, you think DeWalt's? Do you know how much the DeWalt ones run? Roughly for price? Because I'd probably go either like DeWalt or Milwaukee. Says there's a 0 flow. I'll have to double check. But lost my train of thought. So we ended up buying, is it Hercules? I think it's Hercules. Like I said, it was quick, fast. It was right around the corner from the job site. Ooh, that's cool. They got some. So we rolled with it. You know what I mean? We just did it. That's all. Ooh, man, 3K? Yeah. See, and that's hard. That's hard to... I mean, I'm all about it, but I bet that's Chicago. That's a Chicago brand. I bought that from Harbor Freight. It's got to be all of at least 8 years to 10 years old. So, and it's not been treated real nice. Back of, service vans and trucks and dropped and just hurled everywhere. And the problem is, you spend you spend like 3K on something and, at a job site or just anywhere, right? They grow legs. They grow legs and they go away. So it's hard to see 3K versus 800 to some change. You know what I mean? So hopefully the other one, I don't have a lot of faith. The other one, yeah, let's take a look at it. I think it's the Chicago. Obviously, they don't care anymore. I think that's kind of the gimmick, right? They don't carry that anymore, so they can't bring it back in and be like, "Thing has lifetime warranty," and they'd be like, "We don't even sell that. We don't sell nothing that's red. What are you talking about?" Let's see, look here. Oh yeah. Power tools. Be cool if I had a date on it. Darn it. Should make sure on the new one, write a date on it. I try to write a date, but got smashed up. I just know he goes, I thought the trigger went bad. I didn't realize when he said the trigger went bad. It went bad, baby. Oh, let me turn this around for a second. And she's pretty toast. Pretty toast. Item number. Yeah, it doesn't say. No date. They don't give dates anymore, but pretty solid. Except for obviously the handles. That's where they cheaped out. Yeah. So, not too bad. Not too bad. Not too bad. She's old. We got our money's worth. I was happy. So hopefully the other one will be worthy. Oh, sweet. These are the rails I need for a job coming up, so that's cool. Got the rails and opener. Why though? What model is this? These are 2028, so I thought we had a... I don't know. What do you guys got going? You guys working? You guys do anything today? What'd you do? What do you do for work and all that good stuff? I won't stand here too long. I know it's Friday. Everybody's just chilling. I don't know if there's football games on today, Friday. All that good stuff. Oh, yes. Oh, that's right. I gotta measure that TP thing. So anywho, yeah. So that's been kind of the fun. What you got, Burke? Burke, did I miss something up here too? I seen DeWalt. You're good. You're good. Uncle Dave says hello. I see King. King was in here. What's up, King? So on that job I had the other day, the gentleman has a Torque Master. Ooh, with a broken spring on it, and asked my opinion. I told him I'd recommend converting it to torsion spring, and sent him a quote. Sweet. Did he anything become of it? Like, you think he's gonna move forward on it, or did he just kind of give you the, oh, I gotta call around and check on price, you know? My accent, oh, James, man, I'm not the one that's got the accent. You're the one that's got the accent. You see how I... It's like when I was down in Tennessee, girl down at the bar there, she's like, you got an accent. I said, me? I said, I am not the one that's got an accent. I said, it's you. I'm just playing, James. From Florida, that's because we bounce, right? It's either Michigan or it's Florida, right? That's how Michiganders work, right? We either go down to snowbirds, right? But no, Michigan. Been down to Florida once that I know of, maybe twice. Get out of here, I'm from Kentucky. Yeah, you're the one that's got the accent. I don't really know the accent. I could just tell the girl down there, what do you say down in Kentucky? Is it like y'all? I mean, y'all? I mean, I don't know. I want to hear the lip. I know. I just thought it was funny, man. Like I said, she was all like, no. She's like, you got the accent. I'm like, I ain't got no accent. I said, it's you. I like the Southern accent, though. I think it's pretty cool. Is it Sindel? Sydney? Am I saying it right? Sydney said hi. Hello. How's it going? A question from UK. Can you get Ford Transit and also a Toyota? So we can get the Ford Transit, but we can't get, I don't believe we can get that, the Toyota, was it Hilux? I think, is that like a pickup truck? Is that like the really inexpensive pickup truck? They don't give us nothing. They want us to buy all high-end stuff. And is it true? Is it true in the UK you can't have a fireplace anymore? Somebody was on here talking about that. Is that true? You have to like board it up, or you have to block it up. No more fireplaces or something. Is that for real? I gotta do my homework. I believe it's a go. He had another guy come and look at it before I did, and he quoted him like 800. So I said I can beat that. Cool. That's good, man. That's good. Let's hope you get it. Yeah, I don't know if there's really much you can do on that. I'm always kind of harping like on like Mr. Caleb about if you got like a video, or if you had a picture, and if you maybe knew how old the door was, like you could look at, if you could tell the customer, say, because I always know, like with Torque Master or Wayne Dalton, the Torque Masters, you get anywhere from like 8, 10, 12, 15 is pretty high. I mean, I have seen some make 18, 20, but it's like I don't think they use the door that much or something. They just but you know, you get up in there, you could probably start telling them, say, you know, it's probably got a broken, you know, there's a spring in there, it's probably broken. You know, and you could give them a like pre-qualify them, tell them, say, you could be, you know, for me to do a spring conversion, you could be, you know, $400, $600 somewhere in there or whatever, you know, if you didn't want to make a trip out there. But like I said, for you, you know, it's one of those things. I don't bash it. If it's close enough, it's not too far away. You know, if it's 5, 10 minutes or something, 15 minutes, you know, you start hitting 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half. I can't say I would, you know, like that's where you're going to have to, you know, I'm going to give you a ballpark and then I'm going to start charging you a little bit extra for gas and stuff, you know, and my time. Okay, prone. Okay, so in Kentucky, funny story. Worked a construction job where a bunch of guys from all Minnesota and high school teachers. Oh, because I couldn't shake the I couldn't shake the accent. That's cool, man. I think that's cool. I bet that's fun. I bet that was a good time. Don't you know? Okay, you think so? Okay, that's cool. That's cool. What's Kentucky kind of like? What do you like about Kentucky? Is it? I think I was down there. No, maybe I was down in Virginia. Maybe we were just over by. I don't know. I just remember they were like kind of telling us like if they get snow, they like shut the whole place down, and they did. They got like a half an inch of snow, and it was just like they had like some local dude that was like plowing the streets like in a certain area, like, and it was like I'm like this ain't even like a subdivision. He was like plowing like the city roads, and I'm like. And they're like, yeah, we don't go nowhere. And I'm just like, we don't do that up in Michigan. We get 2 feet, we still go places. As was it? It's a pickup as well. Cool. Okay, you can get Ford Transit, and yes, but no, with the fireplaces all new, bills will have face ones. Okay. But you can pay more on house insurance than you can have one. So there's something a little sneaky about it. Brett, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. North Carolina, trying to find a door distributor. I have Harman door really close. Any experience with those doors? So we got like we know with them all, you know, we got still brochures, we got hit with them hard, right? Yo, Harman garage doors. I don't really have anything bad to say about Harman. It's just they were a little bit like some of the stuff was a little quirky. Like they like on their insulated sandwich doors, steel back, they had like a really huge profile to them. You know what I mean? And then I don't know if they're still doing it. Maybe Bert, can you, or I'm sorry, it was Brent, wasn't it? Brent, can you let me know, like, have you dealt with them? Like, they got, like, kind of, like, different hinges. So, I'm not a big fan of, like, I don't know if they show them in their brochures or not. Probably not. This one's not. What else do they got? Where's the insulated doors? It's our most economic design. I think they don't really show it. It's hard to see, but they had like a really steep. I can't really see it on here, but they had a really steep profile on here. And I was not a fan. And then, for instance, they didn't give us rope. And then Lady Denise that worked there, she was really great. She gave us a whole like big old box. I think we still got a lot of rope from her years ago. I think we still got. Oh yeah, we still got this whole big old gnarly mess. Sent us all this rope, right? Sent us all this rope because I was complaining I was complaining. I said they don't give us no rope in the box, and so she sent, which actually reminds me, I got to load up one of these. So she sent all that rope, and I'm like, hey, it was very grateful, right? But here's the thing, right? This is what I like about the Rich B doors, right? They already come with slide locks, which I got to get. I took one out of here. Still, I come with a rope in there. It comes with all that. You know what I mean? So that's what I like about them. Like, it comes with it. I don't have to open up boxes. I don't have to do nothing crazy. So I like that. I like that they're just all there. So, so anywho, so that's what I like. Their hinges were different, and what scares me is, like, we get out in the back country sometimes, and it was like, if we're missing one, unless you get like another whole hardware box, you're kind of up a creek with no paddle. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, like I said, they work if they're close. They treat you good and stuff. Then heck, I would do it. It's a start. You can always move on from there. You can always, you know. But there was nothing like, you know, their service and stuff was great. I mean, the hinges, the rope. I don't know if they didn't have a side lock in there. Their stuff was just it was just different. You know, it's like, I think it's German made. But I ain't got nothing bad. It's just, they just weren't 100% the fit I'd like to see. You know what I mean? The fit and finish. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Burke says, yeah, it's 50 miles out, so I had to charge travel. That's good. That's good. Charge them more. Like I said, you know what I mean? You know, maybe it's not even a bad thing if you're gonna travel out that far. You tell them, say, hey, it's gonna be a $30, you know, minimum. That's just non-refundable. It'll go towards. That's always good if you always put it. Makes it feel more fuzzy. So it'll go towards your bill. You know what I mean, or your estimate, or your invoice. You know, but I got to at least charge you, you know, $30 or something coming out and detail it. What's up, Kevin? Got any big plans? Any car shows? Hanging out? Working, cranking a wrench, working on plumbing. I enjoy it. What's James got? He says, I enjoy it because it's a 15 walk to the lake. Ooh, but people are take care of each other. That's nice. If you get your tractor stuck, maybe we'll pull you out. Lake froze so hard, people drove vehicles over it. Wow. I don't know, they keep saying it's gonna, you know, they're kind of showing how the cold is gonna come down, you know, probably from Canada and stuff like that. So we'll see what happens this year. Ooh, grabbing Pizza Hut. Nice. How'd it go? Is it opener? Go get what kind of opener, Evan? Like Chamberlain? What'd you use? A couple years ago, they made it where you have buy 2 to 3 tons of coal. Oh, at a time. Yes, that just means all the people with big meaner houses can have their light. Oh, son of a gun. Huh. Make them buy that much, huh? So, yeah, so if it was, yeah, that's right. Grab 2, man. Sounds good. Grab 2 pizza. Pizza Hut. What kind of pizza, I wonder? Pepperoni. Deluxe. Do they have stuffed crust? I kind of get hooked on that stuffed crust sometimes. A cheesy stuffed crust. Man, that's pretty good sometimes. I do enjoy that. So if it's 50 miles away, that's roughly about 50 minutes is how I always calculate it. Roughly in there. So it probably took you an hour or so to get there. So that's a little bit of a hike. And then how were you able to tell that the Torque Master was bad? I could always tell. I got so used to it. One spring would typically break. I don't even know what size door it was. Typically always on a 16x7. If it's a 9x7, it's completely dead. Obviously, it's got one spring in it and the spring broke. But if I picked them up and the cables would still stay attached, but it was heavy. And sometimes on those one doors, they'd have the numbers. They got the yellow numbers underneath the ribs. It'll tell you the date. And so I'd just look at the date and I'd be like, or you can just tell by the condition, the dust, or it's got the old Torque Master easy set spring system, whatever you want to call it. That was always a giveaway. Like, oh yeah, this baby, she's got some age on her. She's done for. So that was another way. date. Like I said, sometimes you get 8 years out of them. I don't know if I've seen much lower. I mean, I never seen nothing definitely lower than 6 or 5, I don't believe. But, you know, I just tell them, say, hey, you know, and it was always kind of a gamble. That's why I'm always like, when you're doing Torque Master, you got to watch it, because normally you can order the sticker, right? But what I've learned in the business is that what happens is I don't know how to explain it, but it's like when you leave time in between you and the customer, that's not good. That's not good. That's not good. Not good, operator, because the customer can get frustrated. There can be problems that come up. There could be fallouts with money. There could be accidents, death. There's all these different things that could happen. The house caught on fire. And that's not all of it. But what it is basically is that if the parts come in, so you wait 2 weeks, right? That's what ours would normally take, about 2 weeks to get in. You wait 2 weeks for that Torque Master to come in. Now you always just order all the whole new guts, just easier that way, right? And it comes in and something's wrong. You know what I mean? They gave you the wrong one. They gave you the wrong weight. You told them over the phone the wrong weight by accident. You know, all these things. And now it's like, what do I do? You know what I mean? So do you take it back if you're driving it there? You know, do you send it back to the vendor? You wait another 2 weeks? You know what I mean? So that's why I always kind of lean towards the torsion, doing a torsion conversion. You know what I mean? Because I can do it quicker. It's more forgiving. I can find springs more. I can cut the springs down. The Torque Masters, I don't really know what to do. You know, I don't know a link to cut them, to yank them out, cut them down, or make them this or make them that. So I do recommend the Torque Master, not the Torque Master, but the torsion spring. Unless you're into a spot and there's a ceiling or something, the Torque Masters fit, they fit. So I'm always like, I just make sure you get a confirmation, you know, from the old Wayne Dalton. And these are confirmations right here. I won't show you the front, but clip mount seal, top seal, missing from delivery, back order. Oh boy, something was on there. All right. But anyways, you get your confirmation, right? And then you go through that thing and double check. Get your notes. It's always nice if you got notes. It's nice if you got pictures, so you can verify. And that way you can just forget. 2 weeks later, it comes in, and if it's not right, you can go, uh-oh. You know, it's still kind of a problem on your end, but you call the vendor and say, hey, I got confirmation. I sent you guys, you know, I got a picture of it. I mean, it does exist. It does exist. And they're like, oh, there's not one that's 262. And you're like, I'm telling you, it's on the sticker. It says it. Oh, Schidberg should be another 15 minutes. Ooh. Definitely had age for sure. He said original door just went off. The other door guy told him, honestly, what do I mean? Oh, confirmation? Good question. So typically either you got to ask for it. These are not really, this is not really much of a, this one says load sheet. So, I mean, maybe it's considered like, you can call it like a load sheet, but what'll happen is Wayne Dalton was always really pretty good. I don't think I got any confirmations sitting here. But what it is basically after you order it, right? I'm pretty sure most of the major ones will do it, or you can at least request it and just tell them, say, hey, I want them. They normally do it like that night when they enter in all the stuff to their system, and it'll automatically generate an email or a fax is what it used to do. We don't do fax really anymore. But what it is like, if you, let's say you call up Horman, or you call up Wayne Dalton, and you say, hey, you go, Dave here with Affordable Door and Gate. And they're like, we got 5 different affordable door and gates. And you're like, oh, you're the one on East Apple Avenue. Okay, 32, 31. Yeah, that's us. You know what I mean? Okay, what can I do for you? Well, you know, I'd like to order 16 by 7, non-insulated. I need 12-inch radius. I want perimeter seal. I want torsion spring. Maybe I want 2 springs instead of 1. You know, I wanted to have a side lock. I wanted to have, or, you know, I don't know if, you know, if they had the rope or whatever, but, you know, stuff like that. And end of the day, or maybe the next day, they generate it. They kick you out a piece of paper, right? That'll say, you know, it says the stuff on top. Like ours would typically come like this kind of page. I don't want to show you the front, but like I said, it'll come in like this one. They handwritten this one. I don't think there's anything else on here. But this is kind of what it looks like, you know, like it's kind of got some information. This is handwritten and normally be printed out, and it'll say what I ordered. You know what I mean? So I look at it, and what I always did is at nighttime was the best time because the phone's not ringing, nobody's calling me, there's no distractions, and that was my most my most important thing you could do, because the way I always like to explain it is I always think of it as like, the only way I know how to explain it is like prepping a car, right? Everybody wants to paint the car, right? Everybody wants to see the finished product. Everybody wants to get it done. Everybody wants it shiny. Everybody wants to get the car all done and go show their friends and their family and how cool it is. But nobody wants to do the prep. And the prep is the most important, right? The Bondo, the sanding, the primer, and I got to sand it again and primer it again, and just all that prep work to make it perfect, just perfect for when that paint job comes, right? When that day comes when you're going to lay that paint down and just, you know, and even that, you might still have to, you know, buff it and sand it, wet sand it, all this stuff, right? But when that day comes, right, that's the day. And that's the day you're going to be out there installing it. And if you didn't do the stuff behind the scenes, you're going to be the donkey, you know, and you're going to be the one that's losing money and going to be eating it. You know what I mean? Because you didn't do the stuff behind the scenes, which was you should have got a confirmation and you should have checked it that night, right? And you should have went through your notes, your pictures, focused, and said, okay, whoa. I got to call back in the morning. I got a problem here. I ordered 12-inch radius track and they're going to send me 15. That ain't going to work. That's not going to fit. You know what I mean? So no, you know, so you call back in the morning, whatever, and say, hey, the confirmation shows, you know, and until that confirmation's right, and then that piece of paper is like gold. You know what I mean? So then what I would do, what I used to do, is I already had a customer, right? I already have my customer information. I already went there, did my detail, right? That confirmation went on my clipboard. And then that way I would keep everything, right? And then we also have like this sheet right here is actually, this one's considered a load sheet. So this is probably what the drivers get or whatever. So that way when they get here, right, you're going to have to sign for this or something, right? But they have a load sheet is what this is called. So I make sure the load sheet went on there too. And then that way I have my notes, I have the confirmation, I have the load sheet, I have all the steps of this. I also, one of the most important ones that I already have is I actually have the customer signature of what I ordered, especially if it's a door, and especially if it's a color door or a special order door. That's a must, because then, you know, when I get to the job, you know, I'm having a great day on a Friday, and I go to install the door, and they go, why is the door brown? And my heart starts doing this. Look, and I'm like, what? What? It's Friday. You're joking, right? What's going on? And they're like, no, why is the door brown? And you're like, because what'll happen is, it's like you're trying to find that, what the F happened? You know what I mean? Who did this? Was this my fault? Was this the secretary's fault? Was this the vendor's fault? Where was the screw up here? You know what I mean? Because I make mistakes. So, you know, you need to see, but that's why that confirmation, because you're dealing with humans. So if you're not dealing with a secretary, like I would let a secretary know, and the secretary would order it. So there's already a couple people right there that could something could fumble, happen, just happens. Or I even call the vendor, right? And they're busy, right? They're thinking about their own weekend plans and how they're going to go, whatever, skinny dipping or something. And, you know, and so, but if I got that confirmation, I can call them up and say, confirmation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It says right on here, 12-inch. I don't know why your load sheet says 15. Obviously, I have a confirmation I have proof saying this is what I ordered. So I need it to be right. So I either need you guys to either send a truck out, which they do sometimes. If they got something coming that way, sometimes they got stuff coming your way. They'll bring a extra track or whatever, or whatever. You know what I mean? But it's just so important. All these steps you do behind the scenes, which I never used to do, right? You just order it and forget it. And it's like, it comes in, right? You're so busy doing other stuff. You're like, oh, garage door track. You didn't even look at it. But when you get out to the job and you start slamming it up there in the ceiling, right? And you got you're stretched for time. You're trying to get this job done so you can go camping or hang out with family or do whatever. And it's not fitting. What happened? And you start going, man, what's going on? Man, they sent me 15. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Nobody cares except your pocketbook, because you're going to lose money. And so you're losing time, you're losing energy, you're losing money. And now what are you going to do? You're going to cut it? You're going to modify it? You know, you got to, it costs you time, do all that stuff. So that's why your confirmation is just so vital when you're dealing with, I'm assuming pretty much everybody will give you, some kind of confirmation, even if you're there in the door as they order it and they'll email it to you or you call them, you just got to stay on it. But the confirmation, I realized too late that was the holy grail, because that stuff would come in, you just kind of, whatever, throw it on the clipboards or whatever, wouldn't even really pay attention. No. Nighttime or whenever, want to do it early in the morning, that's your time to meditate and go, okay, they're sending perimeter seal. They're sending 12-inch radius. It's short panel, not long. I ordered short panel. It's insulated. It's the right model. It's coming with a slide lock. It's got operator prep. It's got wind load. It's got a strut for the top. Maybe you order an opener with it. There's just so many things that confirmation is just key. And that's why I also say if you're gonna do one for a customer, maybe it's like if they go to the box store, you possibly have them get, because they're really get a breakdown, right, of what they're ordering. Here's the door color model. Well, I want to look at that. Does that say on there? I'm gonna read it, right? And it goes extension springs. I go, yeah. I call them, you gotta change your order. You can't. I'm not doing extension springs on that door. Next, what should I do? I might just order the main parts off eBay. I just have my normal vendor order the torsion tube because sent the wrong cables and 3 instead of flag. Oh man, I don't know, Evan. What is the holdup, brother? What's the holdup, brother? From the Hulkamania. I don't know what the holdup, man. You gotta get some parts. Gotta get some parts. I mean, I'd be doing these jobs. I'd be pretty much ordering double. You know what I mean? You get torsion tube, get 2 of them. I mean, those are all like, because even if it's just long, like I used to even carry like 18 footers. And if I came across 16 footer, I just charged them for the 18. You know what I mean? I made sure I knew what my price was on it. I'm like, I'm going to cut a foot, a couple feet off, whatever. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, they're going to pay for it. And then, like, when I order springs, like I said, start keeping a list. Like, if you're starting to notice, like, wow, I use a lot of 218s at 25 for a length or something, order a second pair. Order your bearing plates, all that stuff. I think, to be honest, just to push you a little bit, I think you're beyond that now. I think you're definitely at the point where you should be able to do a torsion conversion. Maybe not have all the right springs, but you should have the tube. You should definitely, because those are all very inexpensive parts. We're talking, what, 100, well, up there it might be $200. I was thinking $100 here, but, the cables, like I said, these are all the things that are delaying, you know what I mean? And it's delaying you for that money. You know what I mean? Like you're pushing your money out farther, and every time you push your money out farther, it's like less. You know what I mean? I know it's very fraction, but it's just like we know $100 today in 5 or 10 years is not going to be worth as much as it is now. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at like you need to get this like turn and burn. You know what I mean? Where it's like I think they sent me a picture. It's got a broken spring, so I'm going to go out there with my, I'm going to go out there with what springs I do have. And I'm gonna bring my cable, whatever, because because those will stall you out, man. Like it's such a, like, I did that for so long. Now I'm beating myself up. I'm not saying anything. I'm not mad or anything. I'm beating myself up because I go out there so many times. I clamp it, you know what I mean? And then it was like, I don't know what happened. It's just like one day it's like, gosh, if I started carrying the springs. So I went to my vendor and they were really generous. And I said, I need to start carrying, like, what does most garage door guys carry? And the guy's like, all right. He's like 207, 218, 225, 234. And they're all different lengths and stuff. And so I got a whole slew of them. And then what I did is I basically documented them heavily. I put them on like another clipboard so I wouldn't lose it. It used to be out here. It used to sit outside. And then that way, every time I used it, I would reorder them. I actually reorder them through Service Spring because, like I said, it was a 45-minute drive. And then eventually you start going, damn, time is money. You know what I mean? Because once you start getting more jobs, it's like, I ain't got time for that. I can't lose 45 minutes out of the day for traveling. I gotta keep producing. You know what I mean? Be there 20. Border. Oh, like a mess. It's a mess on the border. Oh man. Can't even go. Just gotta walk across. Sam, do you sell in the UK? Not me. I do not sell. In the UK. I use door manufacturer and sourcing as my vendors. This is okay. I understand. So, I mean, I don't think, I don't really get one. I mean, we got a little bit. It's pretty primitive from DoorLink. Like a confirmation, I mean, it was kind of like an estimate at least. And then I just said, hey, let's go ahead and get this ordered. So, basically it said 12-inch. I mean, I had pretty much everything I need. And the beautiful thing with them is so far, the hardware boxes already come with a foot peg and a handle and rope and side lock, which is awesome. So it already comes with all that basic. It's all basic stuff. It's got the long stem rollers. So I really like the hardware box. I just like that it's all there. I don't have to think about it. So far, no missing parts. It seems like they take a little more pride, Job. Okay, on that, I quoted 2 times everything. Okay. I mean, like I said, if you already knew the other guy's number, you could just bump it down a little bit too, say, I'll do it for $725 or something, $725, because you got gas, or if you take it. But I would definitely encourage you. I don't have one here. I used to have them in my old books. I don't know if we have an old book up here. I don't think we do. I think this is something else. Dun, dun, dun. Holy cow, I got a whole bunch of copies of these in here. Did not realize that. Access, Dalton. No, I just what it was is I encourage you to get a price list. You know what I mean? Go through what if you got to call a couple vendors and see what they're or a couple competition. Just call them, say, hey, I'm looking, whatever. I got a spring, I got a broken spring, blah, 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 or do whatever your numbers are, whatever you feel comfortable, what you got to make. And you should, I just typed it out. I mean, you can just I used to do handwritten one too. And it was it just looks so much more professional when I'd open up my book and I'd be like, okay, so you got a broken spring. So let me see here. Right here. All right. So, broken with a torsion conversion, you're going to be 425 or whatever. Obviously I'm old school. That's old numbers, but and then, you want a 16, I give them the brochure. I used to have one vendor, and I did Wayne Dalton. I just tell them, and I always told them, at least in their brochure was more of a flip one, not like this pull out. And I always tell them, the farther you go back in that brochure, the more expensive they get. People, oh. And so I always went with 3, because most of my stuff was always either non-insulated, a vinyl back, or a steel back. I always had those 3 prices. If they wanted anything that was kind of more custom, I'd tell them I have to get back to them. but I'd have, I had 8x7s, 9x7s, 10x7, I think 16x7. I had all those prices in there. And then, I would give them a price. I'd say, oh, you're looking at, right here, $712 for that installed. Some people use these, those sheets that they give you. Those were a little bit fumbly to me since my customers were that kind of demographic. So, and then I had like springs on there. I think I had rollers on there. I had a cable. I did per foot. So, but I knew I had on there like 7 foot was, $14 or whatever per cable. Just stuff to make things a little more simple, and it looks a little more professional. You're looking at something that's actually like that's your list, versus you're just kind of like, the wind's blowing from the north today. Yeah, we'll do it for $27. I'd write it up. I had my little sheet, write it up. The order of the job quoted 2 times. That's from DoorLink you're talking about. Yeah, DoorLink, I don't have one here that I know of. But I mean, if I get technical, so I don't know what your DoorLink is. So DoorLink is a little bit, they seem a little bit primitive, but primitive in a good way. You know what I mean? They're just like old school, like they just get her done. You know what I mean? At least with the vendor I deal with. So, because I don't know if we deal the same one, right? No, I don't think you do. So, but like when I got the estimate, I looked it over and I was like, all right, it's got 12-inch, 711 by 7.6. I was looking for the model. I didn't see the model, but it said hollow. I was like, okay, because everybody's got different terminology, right? There's short panel, there's long panel, there's raised panel. I don't know, I can't think of the other ones, but there's just so many terminology. There's foam stop, there's perimeter seal, there's weather seal. Did I say perimeter seal? Like perimeter seal, vinyl stop. I don't know. I mean, people got all kinds of. It's just like when I call them, I call them backhangs or drops. Some people call them perforated angle. So there's all kinds of different ways. But anyways, I seen it said hollow, and I was like, oh, okay, so it's a non-insulated, and then it had 12-inch. It was real basic. If I had something more, I'm sure it would probably say a model and color. But that's your, that's kind of your ticket. That's your holy grail to hang on to. So when you either email or something, you say, I got, I like to print that kind of stuff out too. Because I had one time Wayne Dalton got me on a door. I got a price through them. And then, I don't know, a week later or something, I went to order it. And the lady knew, she's like, and she was rooting for me. She's like, I know I gave, and she's going through, so she writes everything down on a pad of paper type thing, all her interactions through the day. And she's like, she could not find mine. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was like another $100 or $200 more, is what she quoted. And I'm just like, that's not what you told me. I'm like, I got it, but I didn't have a confirmation. Now, if I would have had a confirmation, I could have went back and said, or you sent me this estimate, this confirmation. It's right here. You know what I mean? So anytime I've done like rolling steel or fire doors, I'm always like, you give me something in confirmation, because we're not playing this game. You're not coming back and charging me another $300,000, $500,000, because there's no more profit. The profit's pretty much gone. But yeah, like I said, with DoorLink, they're a little bit more primitive, which is fine. I like it. Like I said, so far they like their hardware boxes. They've done pretty good, Delivery tickets. For this one. All right, guys, we'll wrap her up here in a few minutes. Like I said, unless you got any other questions, like I said, I always do lives. I'm here for you. 4 new 4L 260 belts. 4 down. I don't know. It says we haven't replaced yet. Okay. Hang gate and operator. Check with. That's a gate one. Got springs, British, springs, sections, keypad new, keypad new. Okay, so that's a conduit and a keypad. Better get that done before winter. Apex, must have Apex board. Bad. Oh my gosh, what else is up here? Cut exit protector on. Oh boy. Board. Actually, something. PMs. It's just growing, man. It's just growing. Well, hopefully, Evan, did you do any videos on it? I wonder. Do any videos on that opener? Texas ended up sending me, he got one of the newer, it's from the box store, one of the new LiftMasters. He says he thinks I'll like it. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to be a guinea pig yet. But we'll see. We'll see how the new LiftMaster do with their fancy. Why does it say nice? Never used to say nice on it before that, I remember. They changed. Have they changed on us? And when you do a gate operators, you can have this kind of fancy circuitry. Oh yeah. These are actually, I do like the Apexes better. This LiftMaster went together pretty good, but the old Apex isn't too bad. Oh yeah. These buttons, though, you gotta be careful, they'll fly off if you push them funny. So you gotta be gentle when you push them. All that good stuff. All right, guys. Time to hit the road. I still got a truck to clean out. So while Evan's eating pizza, Uncle Dave's still gonna be working. I probably got about an hour or two. And I should have it cleaned up. And then there's tomorrow. And tomorrow is gonna be more work. And then Sunday's gonna probably be some more, probably cutting grass, possibly. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Thank you guys so much for being here. Look, they got a hat. One of the guys can have it. It's pretty cool. Door. That'd be nice for wintertime. All right, guys, over and out. Take care. Live tomorrow? Ooh, I don't know. It all depends. It's gonna be on you, Bert. The pressure's all on you. You're gonna have questions. Questions. I thrive for questions. All kinds of information. I want to help you so you can help me. So I can keep moving, inching towards south. You know what I mean? So I can get down to that equator, so past it, where it's nice and warm. So we'll see. I don't know what's going on tomorrow. I never know what's going on. Every day changes. When you're in business, it's like that. My dad told me at one time. He's like, "You remind me of that guy. What was the guy in? Is it Yellowstone? Was it Yellowstone, right? That series out there, right? And the guy's like riding the horse, and he's just like, so that's your plan? F it." That's how it goes. A lot of times, it's just like, F it. Like, we're just gonna do it. We just got to do it, man, because everything changes. Nothing goes as planned when you're business. You know how it goes. We don't have nobody to run to. We have nobody to save us. We are the firemen. All right, guys, over and out.